Alright, yo, peace. So look, I got another video, man. This is the evolved one. Um, check it in, check it out. Peace. And look, man, this video right here is gonna be called, friends can turn into your foes. You see what I'm saying? Everything that glitters ain't gold, my brother. Look, man, the words of the GOAT rapper Tupac. Um, if anybody that was your friend, all of a sudden they turn into an enemy, they've been hating since day one. You know what I mean? And people turn jealous and envious for multiple amount of reasons. Money, success, the lifestyle, anything, any little fucking thing, man. A business, a job, everything you got going on in your life. That's why it's important, man, especially if you a brother who's in the know or in the knowledge. You have to keep your circle as small as possible. You see what I'm saying? But anywho.
Two friends spent a summer afternoon skeet shooting in rural Pennsylvania. Only one returned home. The other died of what was determined to be an accident.
Allegedly. Accident my ass. You see, man, that's what I mean when I say, bruh. I mean, he got all type of shit. An accident. The fuck out my face, man.
What happened that day sent shockwaves through a small town and launched a mystery that would take 20 years to solve.
So you telling me it took 20 years to solve that case, but it take y'all... but y'all can't tell the black community who killed Tupac and Biggie? Ah, shit, I just be fucking around. But hey, man, I mean, hey.
A small town and launched a mystery that would take...
Oh, man.
Montrose is a quiet rural area in the northeastern corner of Pennsylvania. It's a small, close-knit community with stately homes, one traffic light, and a courthouse that dominates the town square.
And a snake.
In 1976, Montrose was home to 30-year-old Martin Dillon, his wife Pat, and their two young children.
Marty Dillon was a very popular man in town, and his father was...
Did you hear what the lady said? She said he's a very popular man in the city and all this shit. Look, all that popular shit, all that really does is just make you a target, man. That's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? Friends turn to foes, man. Everybody ain't your fucking friend. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say fuck all that popularity, clout shit, man. Get your money up, stack your fucking bread, and get out the fucking way. Why you think you got a few celebs who don't like to be touched or don't like to be bothered and anything? You know what I mean? They just about the money first. Or, I mean, you see what I'm saying? They don't, okay, they have the success and the lifestyle, but they don't succumb to the lifestyle. Nor should they. And like I said, this is right here is reasons why. Everybody's a celeb nowadays, man. Or everybody well known nowadays. Fuck that. But in the age of social media, what do you really expect, right?
Very popular man in town, and his father was the local mayor, and everybody knew him and really liked him.
On June 2nd,
If everybody like you doing something wrong, brother.
On June 2nd, 1976, Martin Dillon left work early to go skeet shooting at his family's hunting camp, a secluded place called Gunsmoke. His good...
Yeah, damn gun smoked hard enough.
Went along. Stephen Scher was one of the town's doctors and a close personal friend of the Dillons. Martin asked some other friends to go with him that day, but they all had other plans.
And I said, Marty, I can't go on. I said, I got just so much going on, I just can't get away. And I just didn't go.
Why don't you just tell it like it is? You had a feeling somebody was gonna get their gun smoked, or their ass smoked, rather. And you just said, look, I don't know, you know. That's all you had to say, my brother. You don't have to come up with all these 1,000 excuses and lies and fairy tale, false stories and all this shit, all these false little scenarios you trying to spit out, man. Just go ahead and say the shit. You didn't want to go because you didn't trust the old buddy over there. You ain't trust the old dude, man. Just say that.
A few hours later, Martin Dillon lay dead.
All of a sudden. See, man, like this that shit. Go ahead. I mean, before I wrote, hold on.
Under the one arm. The wound itself was dead center into the chest, right into the heart. There was no mistaking that it went straight into the heart.
Dillon's ear protectors and sunglasses were lying on the ground near his body. The shoelace of his right boot was untied. Dr. Schur told police that he and Dillon were headed towards the cabin when Dillon spotted a porcupine, grabbed Schur's loaded shotgun, and ran to shoot it. Schur said Dillon apparently tripped over his shoelace and fell on his gun, which went off accidentally, blasting a hole into his chest.
Man, that is a bunch of dog shit. Now, you honestly expect me to believe something is wrong with like old dude really tripped over his shoelace, running with a damn shotgun, and he tripped over his shoelace, and the gun accidentally, quote unquote, accidentally went off and shot him in his chest. Man, get the fuck out my face, man. Try that shit with a nigga on April Fool's Day. The hell he talking about?
His chest. Schur attempted to perform CPR, then went next door to get a neighbor. He smashed the shotgun against a tree in a fit of rage, saying the gun would never kill anyone again.
Yo, that ain't no damn child. He said, the gun. He said, motherfuckers said he sitting there whooping beating the damn gun to a damn tree. That ain't no damn child, yo. It'll never kill anybody again. Oh, man. You motherfucking Neanderthals, man, I tell you.
State policeman Frank Zanin took the photographs of the scene.
And this is when he was running from where? He said, down the path. He ran up the path here after a porcupine. I said, well, this doesn't make sense because his bootlaces are untied. He said, yeah, that's where he tripped over. I said, no, take another look. I said, the boot itself is tight to the leg. I said, if he had been running, that boot would have been wide open.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. That's why I said you gonna try to convince me his damn he running with a damn shotgun with boots untied, quote unquote, and he just tripped running with a damn shotgun and he shot himself in the chest, quote unquote, accidentally. That doesn't even make halfway sense. Fuck out of here, bro. That's why I said, man, try that shit with a nigga on April Fool's Day.
He had been running. That boot.
Fucking clown, nigga.
That boot would have been wide open.
And Zanin was concerned about another part of the story.
Well, he said he rolled him over. He tried to perform CPR. I said, CPR? I said, the hole's right through.
CPR? Look, my brother, I don't mean to be funny, but that motherfucker yonder is DEAD. So there's no need to talk about no damn CPR. But hey, do your thing, man. Motherfucker talking about CPR.
Perform CPR. I said, CPR? I said, the hole's right through his heart. I said, it's dead center in the chest. I says, he's a doctor. He didn't know CPR. He's dead.
Thank you, sir.
Martin Dillon's body was taken to the county morgue in the basement of a funeral home in Montrose. On the death certificate, the coroner, who was a political appointee, ruled the manner of death an accident.
More like bullshit. Hey, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna just take the time out to say this, man. Anybody and their mama think that's a fucking accident? I mean, Explain to me how that's not an accident. You want to explain to me how on fucking earth that's an accident? I'll wait. Go in the comment section and explain to me how was that an accident?
Was a political appointee, ruled the manner of death an accident. The funeral took place in the same church where Martin Dillon was married. Dr. Scher was one of his pallbearers. For Martin Dillon's father, Larry, sadness was overshadowed by suspicion and doubt. He did not believe his only son's death was an accident.
And nor should you, my brother, because it wasn't. But we're gonna slide over. Alright, so here we go, man.
A few months after the shooting death of Martin Dillon, Dr. Stephen Scher divorced his wife, Anne. Some said it was the stress of the death of his best friend. Others said trouble had been brewing between Scher and his wife for some time. Either way, Stephen Scher moved from the small town of Montrose, Pennsylvania, and eventually settled in North Carolina.
You know why? Because the motherfucker running from something. Basically, all that is he has a demon on him. you know, like your favorite knucklehead rapper nowadays says, running from them demons. that's what your boy right here doing. Hey, motherfucker said he escaped town.
And eventually settled in North Carolina. A year and a half later, Stephen Scher remarried. His new wife, Pat Dillon, the widow of his best friend, Martin Dillon.
Now, what that go to show you, man? What the fuck does that go to show you? He basically sat here and married the man that died a year later after the... Bruh, they was all on this shit together. The wife and the friend. The quote-unquote friend. That's why I said, man, friends turn to foes. Anybody been hating on you when y'all was cool at one point as friends and buddy, but motherfucker hating on you or plot on you to kill you, envy you, and like I said, motherfucker been hating since day one. That's why. And this man in the grave, and now they fucking married. Bro, they both was in on that shit together, man. They plotted on him this whole time. They plotted up like, bro, y'all see this? Y'all see that? Alright.
When Larry Dillon learned that his daughter-in-law and his 2 grandchildren were moving in with the only witness to his son's death, he grew increasingly suspicious.
As he should have. Like, my nigga, it's right in front of you. They plotted on your son, man. How he was with this man his last day on earth, quote unquote, tripped over his damn shoes and boots and accidentally shot himself while he running with a quote unquote shotgun. First of all, who the hell runs with a shotgun? And then second off, I didn't even know that. I'm not gonna say I didn't know that was possible, but I mean, what the fuck? Common sense, right? What are you doing running with a shotgun? And then he gonna marry that man's wife a year and a half later. You heard the narrator. You heard Peter Thomas. You heard what he said. R.I.P. by the way. But you heard what he said. Fuck out my face, man.
He questioned the conclusions of his son's autopsy, which was done by a family doctor who was not trained in forensic medicine. So Larry Dillon went to visit this man, Stu Bennett, a friend of his son's and a former police officer who was running a small company in Montrose specializing in accident reconstruction.
He felt that he was murdered. He did not tell me specifically why, or he couldn't. He just felt in his heart that it was not the way it was reported. It was correct.
Bennett studied the autopsy photos and read the report. The first thing he noticed was that Dillon's wound was 1 inch by 1.5 inches in size, but the internal diameter of a 16-gauge shotgun is 5/8 of an inch. A contact wound made by that gun would be the same size, 5/8 of an inch, and not any larger. To find out for sure, Stu Bennett conducted an experiment. He stretched some pig skin over a mannequin and used the same make and model 16-gauge shotgun with the same ammunition used in the accident. In order to create a wound the same size, the gun had to be 3 to 5 feet away from the pigskin.
Now, when I say that a firearm is 3 to 5 feet away, I'm talking about the end of the barrel, all right, where the shell actually comes out. Now you have another 40 inches, 36 to 40 inches to the trigger housing itself. So now you're up to 6 feet away, between 5 and 6 feet away from the trigger housing to discharge the firearm, which means that he'd have to employ a stick or some other type of string or to have the gun discharge.
And there was no gunpowder residue on Dillon's shirt, which would have been present if it had been a contact wound. And there was no blood from the wound found on the shotgun barrel. Stu Bennett suspected homicide and shared his feelings with Larry Dillon.
It didn't surprise him. In fact, the family broke down and cried.
And the Dillons, like others in the small...
Let me say something real quick, man. That was very smart on the father's part. Because me as a father, I would have done that same thing. Nah, check that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't just gonna run up saying, oh, my son was out with his quote-unquote homie and they hunting. And, all of a sudden nah, fuck that. Let's check the person you was with. We ain't gonna call it no accidental death. What a proof? Where's all the justification? You see what I'm saying? That's what I say, man. But then you basically banging this man's wife. I'ma tell you, and that's what a lot of these dudes do. Same thing when you see it in, like, for instance, the rap game. Don't be surprised. A rapper die, his quote-unquote other rapper best friend or somebody who was less popular than him come up and all of a sudden he screwing that dude girl, quote-unquote girl. But you know what, though? She for the streets because that wasn't your girl in the beginning. That wasn't his wife in the beginning. A wise man told me all the marriage is anyway. It's just another form of business that benefits the woman more than it does the man. And look, I'm not against marriage. I'm with whatever makes someone happy. Matter of fact, that's what the Most High put you here for, man. To serve, procreate. You know what I mean? Create life. Build yours and then go create one. That's what a man is supposed to do. Bring your child in, bring some children in with the woman, and enjoy the fruits of the fruits of your labor. But you have to make sure who you procreate with is the right person, the right woman. And either getting married, laid up with some bride, or a bride getting laid up with some man, talking about, oh, now all of a sudden he ain't shit, or she ain't shit. Well, I mean, you weren't saying that when you was banging that thing. So I don't want to hear it now. I'm just saying. Go ahead, though.
The small town of Montrose began to hear rumors that Dr. Schur and Martin Dillon's wife, Pat, were having a sexual affair before Martin's death. Pat Dillon.
Wow. So hey, you see that shit? He came running up on her playing with her titties and everything.
Montrose General Hospital, the same hospital.
Oh, okay. We doing that soap opera, General Hospital. Ah, shit.
General Hospital, the same hospital where Dr. Schur practiced.
And there were rumors.
Practice what? What do you practice? What do you practice? Unsafe sex?
Rumors going on by employees in the hospital of open caressing, that sort of thing going on.
Maria Etimiades described this clandestine relationship in her book, Secrets from the Grave.
Funny how you got how you got a title, Secrets from the Grave, after one of your quote unquote friends had been sent to the grave. You see what I'm saying? Secrets from the grave. Oh yeah. Believe me. See, that's the bullshit I'm talking about. That's the bullshit I speak on. I'm telling you, brother, watch your surroundings, man. Know who you're dealing with. Find out anything is possible when you get in a relationship with a woman. Find out her history. It is important. I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Same thing when she holler about, oh, I'm pregnant. Go get a paternity test. Like I said, there's too much information out here nowadays for brothers not to be able to take care of themselves when it comes to dealing with women, life in general. Life in general especially. Like I said, man, watch this shit. Watch it.
Secrets from the Grave.
They just didn't seem to care. They didn't care if anyone knew, if anyone saw them. When they were caught, they just sort of just went back to their work, and, you know, it would just happen again.
Seasons passed, then years. And in time, law enforcement agencies moved on to other cases. But
That man had just turned 30. You see that? 1946. And was murdered in 1976. So yeah, he had just turned 30. It's crazy.
But questions remained. What really happened at Gunsmoke that day in June of 1976? For almost 20 years, those questions remained unanswered.
Hey, you notice something? Today, June the 11th. Damn, ain't that a coincidence? But look, man, that's that shit I be that's that shit I be referring to, man. I mean, you have to know who you're dealing with, man. Know who you're fucking with. For real. Stuff like this here, man, it honestly don't make no sense, bro. Let's move on. Here we go.
Martin Dillon's parents never gave up their fight to have their son's death reinvestigated. They were convinced that the autopsy was incomplete and the manner of death incorrect. The state policeman who photographed the accident scene agreed with the Dillons and was never convinced it was an accident.
It's very frustrating when people don't want to listen and you know something's wrong.
In 1990,
I agree to that. That's why I keep my damn mouth closed. But you go ahead, though. Very, very true, brother.
14 years after the accident, Frank Zanen.
Did I see Edgar Hoover over there? I know I saw that name. Go ahead, though. Go ahead. I'm not even focused on that.
Convinced the state police to send the evidence to the FBI lab in Washington, D.C. And they also...
Actually, it's Edgar Hoover. Anyway, go ahead. Fuck it. I'm fucking up. Fuck that flag. Go ahead.
FBI lab in Washington, D.C. And they also sent the evidence to this man, Herbert McDonald, an expert in blood spatter. The first thing he analyzed were the boots Dr. Schur was wearing on the day of the accident. Dr. Schur said he was 150 feet away from where Dillon tripped, fell, and accidentally shot himself in the chest. But
remember that all that accidentally shit is alleged.
But on Dr. Schur's boots, McDonald discovered a very fine mist of blood, which he identified as high-velocity impact spatter.
High velocity impact spatter results when something, such as a bullet or shotgun pellets, strike a source of blood, like a body. As a result, the energy breaks up blood into very small spots. The little droplets are almost atomized or vaporized.
High-velocity impact spatter was also found on the side of the tree stump closest to Dillon's body and on the instep of Martin Dillon's left shoe. This indicated that Dillon was squatting near the tree stump when he was shot, not running after a porcupine.
That just goes to show you. That just goes to show the shit I be talking about right there. Right there. How the fuck you gonna... Man, go ahead.
He noticed another inconsistency in the photograph of Dylan's body. The legs of his trousers were pulled up,
indicating that somehow he had been either in a seated or in a squatting position. Otherwise, why would the cuffs right up?
Dr. Mihalikis also noticed what is called scalloping on the edges of the gunshot wound, evidence that the shot pellets had started to spread as they traveled through the air before striking the skin. Scalloping does not occur around a contact wound. Once the Dillons heard of this new information, they filed a petition to exhume their son's body for a second autopsy. This time, Dr. Mihalikis performed the autopsy. Dr. Mihalikis discovered that the direction of the wound track was in a downward direction at a 45-degree angle. The shot came from the right of Martin Dillon and went through Dillon's heart and left lung.
The wound track is wrong if the gun had dropped and then shot him. You either have a perfectly backward or an upward wound track. Here, this was a sharply downward and very angulated from right to left.
Authorities could no longer ignore the evidence, and on June 26, 1995...
You shouldn't try to ignore anything. You shouldn't try to ignore anything. Go ahead.
June 26, 1995, Martin Dillon's death was formally declared a homicide. The next day, Dr. Stephen Scher and his wife Pat returned to Pennsylvania to hold a news conference. Scher told reporters he was innocent and still maintained that Dillon was chasing a porcupine and fell, accidentally shooting himself in the chest.
The last I saw Marty Dillon alive, he was moving away from me up the end of this trail towards where we had
Now you see that motherfucker say, cause he lying. Go ahead.
been.
This motherfucker can't lie for nothing. Look, man, the eyes don't lie. Look at his eyes. He got 4 of them, but you can still look. Look at him. Look at that face. A nigga like he want to burst out and cry. Due to severe constipation or some shit. Cause he full of shit. Ah. Look at him, man. Fucking joke, bro. Fucking joke.
And I just waited there for him to come back.
For him to die, right.
And I just waited there for him to come back or to tell me to do something else. I heard a click and a shotgun blast. And I think I yelled out, "You couldn't hit the broadside of the barn."
Yeah. Clear your damn lying ass throat. When you heard that click in that shotgun, you know why you heard it? Because it came from you, sir. Okay? But hey, I ain't mad at you though. Do your thing.
Teasingly, and then nothing.
Steve is not capable of the things they've accused him of. I've known him and lived with him for 17 years. He's not capable of this.
Is it true?
Far as the bald head broad talking, I have no comment. I'm not even gonna comment because it ain't worth it.
Mayor?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Claim that they've got a murder case. They've had 19 years to investigate it. They've had investigators, all the state police. They've had their autopsy and everything else. Their move next. We challenge them.
The challenge was accepted. Dr. Stephen Scher was arrested and charged with the murder of Martin Dillon. 2 decades after his death, Martin Dillon would finally get his day in court.
It's kind of similar to how you wait till someone passes just to tell them how much you love them. And I mean, what good does it do? They can't hear you. I mean, they not here to receive them. It's going to be our last slide, man, because I got other shit to be doing. Just going to say this real quick, man. Forensic Files 2 actually fucking sucks. I like the Forensic Files with the original narrator, Peter Thomas, a trillion times better. Anyway, go ahead.
21 years after the shooting death of Martin Dillon, Stephen Schur sat in a courtroom on trial for the murder of his former friend. According to the prosecution, Martin
Bunter marks refer to the marks on force open the neck. Yeah, I knew it was the bullets. I'm on the other shit. I just wanted to play around and answer a question. Go ahead. It's bullets.
In a courtroom on trial for the murder of his former friend. According to the prosecution, Martin Dillon knew that Schur was having an affair with his wife and told him that day while skeet shooting that he had talked it over with his wife Pat and that she agreed to end her affair with Schur.
Scheer would not accept it. Scheer was upset. And he said to himself, it's not going to be this way. It's not going to be this way. I'm going to get what I want one way or another. And you have to die.
So he already knew that they was smashing behind his back. Okay, you told the man back off, etc., etc. Your wife, lying ass, as we already knew, agreed to stop, even though we know she really didn't. That just made her keep going, right? But furthermore, the guy killed you, so he killed you over a piece of fish. He killed you over a V-Box. He killed you over a V-Box, my brother. Over a woman that wasn't even his, that was your woman. So just because he want to smash your woman, he had to kill you and get rid of you and your life forever just to... Bruh, I mean... Yeah, and I also forgot to mention that. Brothers, men will kill each other over women that ain't even theirs. Cause she neither of y'all woman. She not his, nor is he the fucker, the fake friend. I mean, I'm lost for words, bro. I mean, this here don't make no damn sense.
While Martin Dillon was reloading the machine with clay pigeons, Stephen Schur placed special ammunition into his gun, moved to within 5 feet, and fired a single shot into the center of his chest.
That motherfucker didn't hesitate, neither did he. See, that just goes to show you he was trigger happy.
Of his chest. The shot entered Dillon's chest at a 45-degree downward angle, directly into his heart.
You know what I'm saying? Cold-blooded. Went to his heart, because he ain't got no love for you. See what I'm saying? Like, bro, you can break this down in multiple ways. You didn't even speak. Didn't even say nothing. Like, hey, I'm just finna kill you. No, he went right ahead and did it. After he sat there and smiled in this dude's face. Cold, man. And then put the bullet in his heart. Cold.
Into his heart. The blast caused high-velocity impact spatter to land on Schur's boots and onto the side of the tree stump nearest to Dillon's body. Schur then removed Dillon's ear protectors and sunglasses and untied his shoelace, making it appear that Dillon tripped and fell. Schur then invented the story about...
But when they have found his fingerprints on the laces, if they really tried to Look at him. I'm just saying.
About Dillon running after a porcupine.
Or if they tested him. But like I said, I'm just saying.
A porcupine with his gun. When Scher returned to the scene with the neighbor, he picked up the gun and smashed it against a tree in a public display of grief. In court, when Dr.
I have nothing to say.
Scher
Get these damn Neanderthal thugs out of here.
learned of the forensic evidence against him, he changed his 21-year-old story. He finally admitted that he had been having an affair with Dillon's wife, Pat, at the time of the accident. He also admitted fabricating the porcupine story. But he
Oh yeah, so he meant that you fabricated it. In other words, means he just made it up. It was a bunch of lies, right? That's what that means. So, okay. I mean, it's nothing nobody knew. You was in there raw. You know what I'm saying? Something that wasn't worth it.
still claimed Martin Dillon's death had been an accident. Scher said he and Martin...
And this nigga still saying it was an accident. Do your thing, man.
Martin argued over the affair. There was a scuffle, and the gun went off accidentally. Scher said he didn't think anyone would believe him, so he staged the accident scene and made up the story about the porcupine. But prosecutors didn't believe this new version either.
And why would you?
The only reason he put himself in proximity to the deceased at the time was because of the overwhelming evidence we had of the blood spatter on his boots.
The angle and direction of the wound track, the hiked-up trousers with the sock showing, and the size and location of the blood spatter all pointed to only one conclusion: that Martin Dillon, while kneeling near the tree stump from approximately 5 feet away, was murdered by Stephen Scher. The motive? Stephen Scher wanted Pat Dillon all to himself. Martin Dillon's children, whom Dr. Scher had raised since they were small, stood solidly behind their stepfather during the trial, even contributing a part of their father's life insurance proceeds for his defense. But the forensic evidence...
So basically, they didn't give a fuck neither? Okay. I mean, it doesn't surprise me.
...was too great. The jury convicted Dr. Stephen Scher of first-degree murder, and he was sentenced to life in prison.
Yeah.
Without parole. The verdict was a long-fought victory for the parents of Martin Dillon.
Larry, what kind of thoughts went through your mind when the first-degree verdict came back? Were you thinking of Marty?
Yes.
What kind of thoughts are going through your mind?
Well, I really did it for him.
In other words, if you would have, had this been 45, 46, if you would have took me back in time, the night of 55, I would have knocked that nigga ass out. That's what that mean. But yeah, he got his justice due though, man.
Did you ever think this day would come? I've been praying for it.
After Dr. Scher spent 20 months in prison, the Pennsylvania Superior Court overturned his conviction.
Wow.
A judge said the state's 20-year pre-arrest delay caused substantial prejudice to his right to a fair trial. In 2002, that decision was overturned. Dr. Scher was retried in March of 2008. A jury deliberated just 2 hours before finding him guilty yet again. He would spend the rest of his life behind bars.
And then he died in 2010 of natural causes, allegedly. I'll say any damn thing. But yeah, man, we know where he went. But anyway, that's why I'm just saying, man. Like, yeah, friends turn into foes, man, and for anything. But like I said, if any reason why they turn into if a friend turn into a foe because he never was your friend, motherfucker been hating since day one, and that's reasons why. Because he wants your woman booty, bro. When it's 4 billion in the world, but he wants yours. Low key some gay shit too, but y'all brothers stay safe, man. Like I said, I got business to handle and some money to make. So hey, peace.